Alright, so I'm going to do two homework problems from the homework set that was assigned to you. You were assigned problems 4 through 14 on pages 401. I'm going to do number 12 and 14, so I guess the harder problems of the set, so I'm going to leave you with the easier ones. Sorry about that. I know everyone's going to be upset because of the choices that I made. I was being sarcastic. 12. We have 10x minus 9y equals to 46, and then minus 2x plus 3y equals to 10. So we have a pair of linear equations in a system, and you're asked to solve them. I can always use graphing. That's going to take you a while and some accuracy. You can use substitution. Looking at that problem, that's going to be very messy. Or the last method is elimination. Looking at that problem right off the bat, you can't eliminate it because the coefficients of both the x and the y are not the same. So they're not going to go away if you add or subtract this particular system. But we just learned modification. So we can modify one or both equations to get them, to get the coefficients aligned so they can eliminate one of the variables. Now let's take a look at the coefficients and see which one we should work on. The coefficients for x are 10 and negative 10 and 2. Let's ignore the negative for now. 10 and 2. The GCF, or the greatest common factor, for 10 and 2 is 10. How convenient, because the top one already has that form. So we'd only need to modify the bottom one. That's your cue for which one to choose. Now let's take a look at the y. You have 9 and 3, ignore the negative for right now, so 9 and 3. The GCF for 9 and 3 is 27. Neither of them are 27. You would have to modify the top by multiplying it by 3, modify the bottom by multiplying that by 9. It's going to be a lot of work, I promise you, and it's going to get you some very, very big numbers. I'm going to look 9 times 10, just saying. So modify the bottom one for the x only. Don't go with the y. You can, you'll get the same answer, it's just going to be more work. So multiply the bottom equation by 5. I'm going to rewrite the top one over here. 5 times negative 2x is negative 10x. Ooh, same coefficients. We can make that work now. 5 times 3y, 15y. 5 times 10 equals to 50. So take a look at that. Now we are able to eliminate something, and that's good news for us. We can now eliminate the x's, and we're going to use addition, because 10x plus negative 10x, 0. Negative 9y, negative 9y, plus a 15y, so negative and positive. The outcome is going to be a positive 6y. And 46 plus 56 is going to be a 96. Then to solve for y, we would divide both sides by a 6. Then y equals to a 16, if my math is right. Yeah, that looks right. Good. So y equals to 16. Perfect. We're pretty much halfway done. Now all we need to do is substitute that y, or the value for the y, into one of the y's over here. Why would we do that? To get to the x. I'm going to choose the bottom one. I think it looks a little simpler. You could have chosen the top one just fine. So negative 2x plus 3 times, instead of y we write 16. Negative 2x plus 3 times 10, that's 30. 3 times 6, that's 18, so 48 equals to 10. Then we would subtract 48 from both sides. So negative 2x equals to negative 38. Then divide both sides by negative 2. simplifies to 1. And x is going to be, if my math is right, a 19. So then your ordered pair is going to be 19, because x always goes first, and 16. And that's your answer for problem number 12. So again, we modified the bottom equation, and we modified it so we could eliminate the x. Again, you could have went for the y as well, but I promise you that would have looked a lot uglier. So the GCF for the x was 10, so we modified the bottom one so we would have a coefficient of 10 next to the x by multiplying everything by 5. So that was 12. Let's take a look at 14. I have a feeling that one is going to be a wee bit more difficult, because always the last problem in a set, they save the best for last. Which is why I'm doing it for you. So that way, if you get frustrated, you can look at it, or look at the video, and not get less frustrated, or maybe unfrustrated. I'm going to stop talking. Alrighty, so let's take a look at this problem. Let's look at the coefficients of x first. 11 and 3. The GCF for 11 and 3 is 33. That's the smallest number that both 11 and 3 will go into. Neither of those is 33. We'd have to modify both top and bottom. Doable. Let's move on and see what's in front of y. Maybe that one will be a little simpler. 20 and 4. The GCF for 20 and 4 is 20. Oh hey, the top one is already a 20, which means that we only need to modify the bottom one. Zing zing, that is your choice being made for you. Modify the bottom one for y so we can eliminate y. You can work with the x if you really like the challenging modes, or if you really like writing things out for a long time. I'm going to go with the easier method. Now if the GCF for 20 and 4 is 20, to get 4 to be 20 you need to multiply it by 5, so we multiply everything by 5, because you can't just multiply that, you have to multiply both sides of the equations fully. I'm going to rewrite the top just as it is, and then I'm going to start multiplying the bottom one. 5 times 3x, 15x. 5 times 4y plus, or positive 20y. Yay. 5 times 36. Yeah, I knew they were going to throw something ugly looking at us. Okay, so that's going to be 180 if memory serves right. 5 times 30, that's 150. 5 times 6 is 30. Yeah. Hopefully looks right. I don't have to erase anything. So let me think about it for a second. Yeah, it's 180. Okay, good. Just wanted to double check. So let's go ahead and do our elimination. Pardon. So we have negative 20y and a positive 20y. We're going to use addition, because that will get those two eliminated. If we use subtraction, we would get negative 20y minus 20y, which would give us negative 40y, which would not really get us anywhere. So we use addition. 11 plus 15x, that is 26x. That's a 0, which is what we want. And that is going to be 208. Yes. Then to solve for x, we are going to divide both by a 26. And 208 divided by 26 is going to be an 8. You can use long division to get that, but however it works out for you. So it looked a little ugly, but in the end it worked out to be just fine, so good. Now that we have x, all we need to do is find y, and we are done. To find y, we need to substitute the value for the x in for one of the x's, top or bottom. I'm going to go with the bottom. I don't know, I have a preference for the bottom equation. I don't think either of them would be much more difficult. So okay, 24 plus 4y equals to 36. Subtract 24 from both sides. 4y equals to a 12. Yes. Divide everything by a 4. Simplifies to 1, and y equals to a 3. Good. So if that's the case, our answer is x first, x at 8, and y at 3. That's our point of intersection for those two equations, and that's our solution. So that was number 14, and number 12 done for you from the homework that's due on Monday the 28th. So best of luck on the other 5 problems that I assigned, and I will see you on Monday.